Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Allahumma shalli ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Introduce, my name is Rifky Tegar Nugraha. On this occasion, I will present a journal with the title The Impact of the AIN Supported Math Education on Students' Achievement and Opinions in 5th Grade Geometry Teaching by Hasan Hussein and Murad Goksu. Next, the abstract in this journal is the aim of this study is to observe in aspects of education and informatics net or AIN support math teaching on students' success in geometry teaching 5th grade level and to observe student comments on AIN. This study was conducted in the second term of 2018 to 2019 school years, but qualitative and quantitative research methods were implemented. The research sample is limited, comprising Garrison City 34 secondary school students, of whom 17 each were for the experimental and control group. An achievement, this consists of 25 questions, was developed by the research and its validity and reliability were checked by express in the file. The collected data was administered through SPSS 24-page program. Parity tests and unparity tests were used to analyze the collected data. Students were asked to answer the beforehand prepared feedback from this consists of questions about the use of AIN in the qualitative part of the research. When the quantitative data results are analyzed, both of the groups had success in learning 5th grade geometry subjects. However, it is seen that experimental group students are more successful than the ones in control group. Permanent learning happened in both of the groups. In addition, it is clear that students have positive attitudes towards AIN according to qualitative data results. And next, introduction. In this context, the purpose of education is to train people who are constantly learning, who can apply to knowledge they have learned, who can produce new ideas, find solutions, and who are not unfamiliar with innovation. In terms of mathematics education, it is expected from mathematics educators to raise individuals who are able to produce effective solutions in real problematic situations. Associate the mathematical knowledge they learn with their daily life, who are aware that the mathematics and what they live in are a world, and consequently who love mathematics and are not afraid of it. Mathematics emerge parallel with the needs of society with counting and measuring, and today it, especially with its frequent use in technology, has gained an important place among other sciences. According to Altun, 2008, an aim of mathematics teaching is to provide a person with the mathematical knowledge and skills required by daily life, teach him or her how to solve problems, and make him or her acquire a way of thinking that's handled even in a problem-solving approach. In Turkey, Educational Informatics Network, or ABI, developed by the Ministry of Education, provides significant benefits to educators and students in this regard. Pola 2016. AIN started to broadcast in 2012, became enriched by being renewed for chain nets, and became the world's largest contest service. AIN is a system that includes educational contests in addition to educational tools that teacher and student can use, including research in video formats in addition to research with audio, text, and picture formats. AIN is a system that supplies users with facilities such loading files, cloud store, organizing competition, lectures suitable for various levels, making announcements, and doing other kind of sharing by yours. These possibilities and only some of the features that enrich the AIN system. Actai and Kaskin 2016. For this reason, students need different learning approach for their developmental situation, activities, and acquisitions appropriate to the contents. It is believed that SIN support math teaching would be more effective and efficient, as it has been proven to support learning and increase spatial ability of students because it provides more opportunities for learning. And next is the sub-problems. First is there are statistically significant difference between the pretest scores of the experimental and control groups. Second is there are statistically significant difference between the post-test scores of the experimental and control groups. Third is there are statistically significant difference between the pre-test and post-test scores of the experimental group. Fourth is there are statistically significant difference between the pre-test and post-test scores of the control group. And last, fifth, what are the opinions of the students of the experimental group who do the AIN supported practice for the geometry subject in the 5th grade about the AIN activities, geometry teaching, and practice. And next, methodology. In this study, quantitative and qualitative research methods were used together. Therefore, the research method is a mixed research method. Creswell 2008 defines the mixed research method as a procedure for collection and analyzing qualitative and quantitative data in a mixed way at the stake of the relevant research process in order to fully understand and research problem. Creswell 2017 determined their basic mixed method pattern is mixed research method is accordance with the purpose. In this research, an explanatory sequential pattern from this design was used. In explanatory sequential research studies, quantitative data are collected first and qualitative data are collected and analyzed in order to examine the result obtained from quantitative data in depth. In this study, first quantitative data were collected in order to determine the learning levels of 5th grade students about geometry subject, and then the result obtained in the light of the collected qualitative data were examined in depth. And next, participants. Necessary legal permission for the research were obtained from the Keguruan Provincial Directorate of National Education. The universe of this research consisted on second-level primary education students in Keguruan. The sample of the study consists of 60 and 68 class in the 15 Temus Imam Hatib Intermediate School in the Central District of the Province of Keguruan in the second semester of the 2018 to 2019 academic years. In the sample, there were 34 students in total. 17 students in 5A class that made up the experimental group and 17 students in 5F class that made up the control group. And next, data collection tools. The following data collection tools were used to collect data in this study. First, mathematical assessment test, and second, semi-structural interview form. And next, results in this journal. First, results regarding the pre-sub problem. In the t-test conducted to determine whether there was a significant difference between the pre-test result of the experimental group students and the control group students. No significant difference was observed between the average. The score of the students is the experimental group. Experimental is 9.59 and the average the test score of the students in the control group. Control is 9.88 and T35 is 0.410 and P more than 0.05. In this case, it can be said that the students in the experimental and control groups before the application were at the same level. For table, test result regarding the pretest result of the groups. And next, second, results regarding the second sub-problem. In the t-test conducted to determine whether there was a significant difference between the post-test result of the experimental group students and the control group students. A significant difference was observed between the average test score of the student is in the experimental group. Experimental is 12.78 and the average test score of the students is in the control group. Control is 11.18 and T50 and T35 is 1.355 and P less than 0.05. When the test average of the groups are examined, it is seen that the student in the experimental group to whom the AIN method was applied were more successful in 5th grade geometric subject than the students in the control group who were taught with the traditional method. For table, test result regarding the post-test score of the group is. And next, results regarding the third super problem. As a result of the t-test for dependent groups conducted to determine whether there was a significant difference between the pre-test and post-test scores applied to the students is in the experimental group. A significant difference was observed between the average pre-test score is 9.59 and the average post-test score after the application is 12.78 and the 20 is mean 7.374 and P less than 0.05. The apex is calculated according to the test result. D is 4.15 shows that this difference is at a high level. In this case, it can be interpreted that teaching with the realistic mathematics education method in the aforementioned group had a significant effect on the test success of the students. For table, the result regarding the experimental group's pre-test and post-test scores. And next, results regarding the fifth subproblem. The fifth subproblem of the research consists of the experimental group students' opinions in the fifth grade classroom, in which the AIN supported application on geometry subject done on the use of AIN, its contest in dissemination, the adequacy of the contest, and the AIN supported lectures. Question 1. What are your opinions on the use of the AIN platform? For table, the response given by the participant to question 1. Participant 1, comfortable, easy. Participant 2, comfortable, easy. Participant 3, difficult. Participant 4, comfortable, easy. Participant 5, comfortable, easy. Participant 6, easy. Participant 7, while signing in, I'm asked to submit information that I don't know. Participant 8, easy. Participant 9, comfortable, easy. Participant 10, easy. Participant 11, I can sign on every device connected to the internet. Participant 12, at first it was difficult, but it is easier when get familiar. And next question 2. What do you think about using ABI contest while learning a subject makes it easier for you to understand the subject or not? Why? For table, the responses given by the participant to question 2. Participant 1, made it easier. The exercise made me understand the subject. Participant 2, it made me to revise the subject easily. Participant 3, videos made me understand the subject better. Participant 4, it didn't make it easier. Videos are inadequate. Participant 5, it grabbed the minor details that I didn't understand. Participant 6, subjects are more enjoyable and more entertaining. Participant 7, I play games on AI and when I give a break, it becomes more entertaining and more tutorial. Participant 8, it makes the subject more difficult. The activities are inadequate. Participant 9, it makes the subject easier. There are tests and lectures. Participant 10, it doesn't make it easier because lectures are too bad. Participant 11, it doesn't make it easier because I understand the subject. And participant 12, it makes the subject easier because it lectures less a teacher. And next, question 3. What are your views on disseminating the class to be given by using the AIN contest? A. It should be disseminated because. And B. It should be disseminated because. For table, the response given by the participant to question 3. Participant 1, useful. Participant 2, enjoyable, entertaining. Participant 3, make the subject revisable. Participant 4, easy, understandable. Participant 5, fast accessibility. Participant 6, visually interesting. Participant 7, different ways of lecturing. Participant 8, using the time more efficiently. Participant 9, memorizable. Participant 10, videos of lectures and inadequate. Participant 11, make it difficult to learn during the class. Participant 12, lectures are too bad. And next question 4. Do you think the knowledge on the AIN related to this subject is sufficient? Table, the response on the option A of the question 4 in the interview prompt. Participant 1, yes, sufficient. Participant 2, yes, sufficient. Participant 3, yes, sufficient. Participant 4, yes, sufficient. Participant 5, yes, sufficient. Participant 6, yes, sufficient. Participant 7, yes, sufficient. Participant 8, yes, sufficient. Participant 9, yes, sufficient. Participant 10, no, not sufficient. Participant 11, no, not sufficient. Participant 12, no, not sufficient. And table the response to the option B of the question put in the interview prompt. Participant 1, yes, sufficient. Participant 2, no, not sufficient. Participant 3, no, not sufficient. Participant 4, no, not sufficient. Participant 5, yes, sufficient. Participant 7, yes, sufficient. Participant 8, no, not sufficient. Participant 9, yes, sufficient. Participant 10, no, not sufficient. Participant 11, no, not sufficient. Participant 12, no, not sufficient. And question 5. If the subject was lectured with held the AIN contest, what would be the difference between the two types of learning approach? Explain. Table the responses to the question 5 in the interview prompt. Participant 1. I would not be able to learn the subject quickly. Participant 2. It would be difficult to remember it. Participant 3. It would take long to learn it. Participant 4. With the videos, the subject is permanent on my mind. Participant 5. I would not remember the subject quickly while repeating it. Participant 6. I would not be able to complete the subject definition. Participant 7. There won't be any difference. Participant 8. It would take long to learn it. Participant 9. I would not be able to learn the subject quickly. Participant 10. I would not be able to complete the subject deficiency. Participant 11. I would not be able to complete the subject deficiency. Participant 12. There would not be any difference. And last is suggestions. The author suggests that the insufficiency of infrastructure and equipment in school negatively affect the active use of the AIN in the classroom. For this reason, this problem in school can be solved by eliminating internet connection problems. At the beginning of the semesters, brochures about the use of the AIN can be prepared and students can be informed about the AIN contents and application. Also, the use of the AIN course can be organized in the computer class of the school or in public education centers for students who have difficulties while using the AIN. By giving information about the AIN to teacher candidates in education faculties at university, they can be provided with suggestions, increasing skills in development of contents and using technological tools. The AIN-related activities can be added to school books to make more proactive use of the AIN. In addition to the AIN, similar applications such as GeoGebra and dynamic geometry software can be used to increase the impact of the AIN-supported geometry teaching. ABI-supported education can also be conducted in primary school and secondary school level students. Comparisons can be made by applying similar studies in school and as student with or without an entry examination. That's all I can say. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.